Welcome to Mommy Heal Thyself. We feature guests who provide you with the tools, resources, and strategies you need to say no to a life of pain and suffering from all forms of preventable disease, toxic drugs, and unnecessary surgeries. We hope to inspire you to boldly reclaim your ability to heal and to serve the ones you love.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Mommy Heal Thyself. In this episode, I introduce you to Saphiatou and Tiffany, Howe. Now, Saphiatou, or Saphia, is a proud mom to an incredible 9-year-old and a passionate admissions director at Fusion Academy in Alpharetta, Georgia. She's worked in education since the late 1990s and truly loves helping students and families to find the support and environment that they need to thrive. Outreach, relationship building, and making a real difference are at the heart of everything she does. And Tiffany is a dedicated director of outreach for Fusion Global Academy, Fusion Academy's fully online one-to-one school. Coming from a long line of educators, she's grateful to carry forward a legacy of supporting students while bringing her 10 plus years of experience in brand awareness, creative collaboration, and meaningful relationship building into the work that she does each day. She loves helping families discover personalized learning options that truly meet their child's needs and is driven by the impact that student-centered education can make in their lives. Every day, they both feel fortunate to work in something that matters, guiding students and their families through a journey that is uniquely theirs and helping them to discover what is possible. So, ladies, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having us. We are both very, very excited about speaking to you and speaking to your community because we really believe in what we do. We love the work that we're doing with Fusion. We walk the walk that we talk, and we're known as the school that changes everything, and we're happy to share why that is.
Awesome. Well, ladies, I know that you guys are going to bring us a comprehensive understanding of Fusion Academy. Number one, from the on-site, in-person aspect of Fusion, because you are located in several states in the United States. And for those people who are in a location that isn't where you are in terms of brick and mortar, there's also the online option. And we are having this discussion at a time where it is really crucial for us to realize that our current educational system in this country is broken. Well, I don't know about broken so much as it is. It's doing what it was designed to do, which is just to create factory workers, if truth be told. And so that is why it was important for me to reach out to you ladies and help us to have an understanding of what is another option that is available for our families. So if you can give us a little bit of information into what do you mean when you say the school that changes everything, and how did you come to start your journey with Fusion?
I think I'm going to start with how I, became a part of the Fusion community. I had been working in education for a number of years, took some time off when I had my daughter, and then came back to the workforce. And then, just in some decision making and figuring out what was best for myself and my family, took a little gap of time off for just personal reasons, family reasons. My dad had gotten sick, and took some time off. And then when I came back, I was looking for something that spoke to me, spoke to the type of work that I wanted to be doing. I am a person who wants to work in a space that has integrity, because that's what I was raised on. You've got to be a person of integrity. I can't tell people about something and tote about it and, shout its praises when I don't believe in it. It's just not who I am. So Fusion, I came across it on LinkedIn, and as I'm reading everything, I was like, this place sounds amazing. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put in my application. Admissions is something that I had done for a number of years and really, really enjoyed it because you're impacting upon families. You kind of become a counselor, a helper, a friend to some, as they are dealing with the greatest commodity, their children. You know what I mean? So I love kids. I love working in schools, and it just made sense. So went through the interview process, which was very rigorous. It was extensive. They had made some changes after posting the job about what the role was going to look like. So it took maybe a month and a half before, things
Wow.
came together, and I ended up having the opportunity to come to campus after going through rounds of interviews. And when I saw the space, it was amazing. Amazing, from the lighting, the colors on the wall, and then the people make the space, and it just felt right. And then the thing that kind of sealed it for me, I do this, the Reasons Why I Love You thing, and in February for Valentine's Day for my daughter. So every morning I put a heart and the reason why I love her. And I came here, and the head of school, Elizabeth Mills, had a Reasons Why I Love Fusion on the door. And,
Oh.
everybody had posted things about why they came to Fusion. I was like, this is it. My favorite color is the school's colors. The Reasons Why I Love You is on the wall. These people are amazing. And it's been fantastic ever since. Love representing this company, because now, to answer the second part of your question, is how do we do what we do? Change everything by making flexible schedules. You don't have to build your life around your child's school schedule. It's done the other way around. We're open from 8 in the morning until 5:30 in the afternoon, during the traditional time, which is that August to May in our area, which is, I'm in Georgia. And then from June until the very beginning of August, it's from 8:30 until 5:30. So we're open all year round. We have
Wow.
rolling admissions. You can enroll at any point. We're all for hybrid, virtual, in-person opportunities to learn. Um, Nobody comes to school. Well, everybody doesn't have to come to school at the same hours. You choose the hours that work for your family. So if a child is on medication and it takes a little while for that medication to set in the morning, for them to start their day and for it to be a
Mhm.
positive day.
Mhm.
Maybe you don't start at 8 o'clock. Maybe you start at 10 o'clock. That's
Mhm.
fine. Maybe you come to us full time. Maybe you don't. Maybe you only come to us for one class. Hey, maybe that one class is for credit and maybe it's not for credit. All things are optional
Wow.
here, and we meet the requirements for the states that we work in.
Mhm.
We have 85 different locations, or 84 currently running locations, and we're going to have close to 90 by the end of next year for sure, or
Nice.
at the beginning, for the first quarter. And it's amazing. We're located all over the country. We've got 2 locations here in Georgia. Tiffany represents our global community, and I've
Mhm.
talked so much. Let me give you a chance to talk to Tiffany, and she can talk to you about her experience with Let Her Hear and that global component of Fusion Academy.
Now, before
Yes.
we go to Tiffany, I want to summarize in terms of some of the really key things that you said, which was that you were looking for a place with integrity. And I find that a lot of the parents that come to me, that is their biggest concerns, that they do not believe in the institutions that their children are in right now. They do not believe that the people that are the administrators or the teachers or even the board of education, that they are people of integrity. So it resonates with me also because I was a former teacher and I left education because I said, I can't be in this environment where truth is not truth and where you're trying to fix the books and things of that nature. So I love the fact that that is one of the key things that brought you to Fusion. So Tiffany, tell us what about you and tell us more about the virtual component.
Yeah, absolutely. So, really about me, it's interesting. I have a background in sales and marketing. So, prior to coming to Fusion, I was honestly burnt out. I was burnt out. I was working in billboard sales, and it just got to the point where I needed a break. So, I ended up getting into education. I was a librarian, as well as a high school basketball coach. And so, really enjoyed that, but kind of wanted to get into something that kind of combined both. I love sales and marketing, and then I also did enjoy education. And I come from a long line of educators. Everybody to my mom, cousins, uncles, even my great great grandmother was in education.
Wow.
So I stumbled. Absolutely, absolutely, which is incredible, especially for, back in her day. But stumbled across Fusion, I think from post on like YouTube and I'm like, oh, this looks really different. Let me apply. So I initially started out as an admissions consultant for Fusion Global Academy, which is the online version of the company, which I'll talk about very shortly. And so I was working diligently with the families, hearing all of their problems, hearing what these parents were going through, and was just able that I was able to provide them with some support, some relief, and an option when the children are facing mental health crises, just not doing well in school, might have a learning difference. And so, really being able to work with these families when they're desperate. A lot of these families are at their last straw, you know. So, from there, I moved into more of a outreach position. Where I'm working more with professionals and developing those relationships to let them know about what we have here at Fusion. And so, you know, been here now for almost 4 years and absolutely love it. Just to piggyback off of everything Safi said, and to speak a little bit about Fusion Global Academy. So yes, we are the online portion of the school. So we're able to service students in all 50 states as well as internationally. We have students in 40 or so different countries at the moment. And so we're able to do everything online. And again, piggybacking off of what Safi said, it's very flexible here. We don't operate necessarily in traditional school hours. We have 17 hours of live instruction Monday through Thursday. So we're able to work with students in that capacity. Traditionally, from about 5:30 in the morning to 11:30 Eastern Standard Time, that's when we're able to work with the students. So it works really well for those families who might be traveling. Again, students might be on medication and have to start the day later. Whatever is going to be best for the students. I work quite a bit with student athletes. So, you know, whatever's going to be best for the student, we really customize what they need.
Wow. Now, I would love for you guys to tell me a little bit more about, I guess you could say, the profile of a somewhat typical or not typical family that comes to Fusion, meaning what is the need that you are actually meeting? Who is it that's looking for a Fusion Academy?
Well, I can tell you to start with, we are an environment that offers a one-to-one education. So I think I want to lead with that because there are certain people who are looking for that. And oftentimes it can be ones who the traditional setting is very distracting. So you may have students who have ADHD or maybe working through anxiety, may have some hospitalization that's happening or treatments that they're receiving that require them to go to the doctor very often. We also have those who may be actors or actresses, athletes, where the priority is, you know, some kids know early on, like the goal for this family is the Olympics, or, you know, they need more training time. They are going to be the biggest equestrian, you know, on this coast, things
Wow.
like that. And then you have those who may just be experiencing some bullying at school and they need something different. They may be having a tough time. Things are getting really hard just in the world, but really with kids, just how they deal with each other, with the impact that social media is having on people in general. It creates a very stressful environment for students in the school setting. So here, this is a place where all those different people will be able to thrive. And honestly, even if you don't have any of those things going on and you're just sort of the run-of-the-mill kid, this setting is great because you get to learn in a way that works for you. You're meeting the requirements for the state. You're doing what needs to be done, but you're doing it in a way that works for you and works for your family. If you're a tactile learner, we're going to give you more tactile projects. If you need a little bit longer to make sure you're passing the class, because we do have grades. However, our goal is mastery. So that just means that the student is getting a full understanding of the content that's being shared, and they're able to, you know, explain their understanding of their learning. Another key thing with Fusion, parents get a full-on report after each and every class that the student takes. So you don't have to wait till the end of the year, the end of the semester. You don't have to wait until parent-teacher conference time to know how your child is doing. You more so get cheat code for dinner conversation because they get their homework done at school too. For every 1 hour of class that a student has, they get an hour of homework cafe. If you're on campus, you have the option of a social homework cafe or a silent homework cafe. Social gives you that chance to interact with your peers, to
Mhm.
socialize, have a good time, but also get your homework done. So it's kind of a mix of the two. Silent might be for the child who's a little bit more reserved. Maybe not so out there. Maybe it gets busy and a little loud because people are laughing and joking and having a good time. And not all kids receive that because, just as I shared, people have lots of different backgrounds. So maybe socialization can be tricky for some kids. For that kid, maybe it takes a little while for them to warm up. So maybe they enjoy the silent cafe a little bit more. But all that said, for every hour, 1 hour of class, 1 hour of homework cafe. It's so helpful. Parents don't have to try to remember trigonometry or algebra
Mhm.
for some
Mhm.
or,
Mhm.
physics. Like, how do I help my child? We've got people right here. And if you're in the virtual community, Tiff, you can talk about what that's like. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I get this question often with, how does this look on the brick and mortar campus versus online? And it's
Mhm.
honestly the same exact way. We have our homework cafe set up as well. And pretty much this could be like a homework cafe. So you would come in, there's a concierge, somebody would greet you, and then you're
Mhm.
able to go into maybe a silent room or maybe a subject specific room. So we have four core subjects of math, language arts, science, and social studies, where there are teachers and experts that can help with those specific categories. If you want to be more social, again, there's social as well. And we make sure, especially with us being the virtual part of the school, we go out of our way to make sure that the students are able to socialize, because we know that that's a big component that some parents want to know. Are the kids able to socialize? So, we do have the
Mhm.
homework cafe, and we also have tons of clubs and activities for the students to do.
Wow.
Everything from, fitness club, arts, music, gaming, National Honor Society, to just things that we do. We have our Winter Fest coming up where students are able to, partake in just different activities. So there's a little something for everyone, but we do make sure that is one of our things. We do not want students taking homework home because, to Safi's point, it can be challenging for parents to help with that.
Now, I'm curious how you guys juggle that because, as I said to you before, I was a classroom teacher and it was always a challenge to get everything covered in the curriculum, you know? So I'm curious as to how you are able to do that within school hours and also get the homework done. I'm flabbergasted. What's your magic
It's
potion?
the hour, it's that hour of complementary time. In a traditional setting, you're not just teaching one student, you're teaching multiple students.
Mm,
20 students don't learn the same way.
mhm.
15 students don't learn the same
Five
way.
students don't learn the same way.
5 students don't learn the same in
Hmm.
the same way.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
with you being able to just have that one-on-one focus, you're really able to kind of hone in on the topics that need to be covered. And then, like I said, it's a complementary hour. So that kind of takes up 2 hours. Our school day, as you mentioned, it was structured to create workers. It was like babysitting for the parents, and let's create this next batch of people who are going to be able to work our factories. Here, that's not the case. What we are doing is we are helping students to develop their mind, to figure out what are their skills, to learn how to become advocates for themselves, to learn how to speak up and say, hey, I don't understand, or say, oh my God, I'm so excited about this. Can we do it this way? And have someone who kind of guides them through the process.
Mhm.
Um, Students make a huge impact upon what we do. You know what I mean? We remember what it was like to be the kids. At Fusion, we take into account best practices. It's not just one way to do things. There's lots of different
Mhm.
ways that we can get there. And
Yeah.
it's just a matter of figuring out, hey, what works for this kiddo? And we're able to do that in that timeline because it's so specialized. It's so focused on
Mhm.
one person, even though
Mhm.
we can do groups as well. We offer group learning. So at our campus, we can have up to 6 students in a group. So anywhere from 2 to 6 makes a group. The same thing
Mhm.
holds true for clubs. We have a variety of different clubs. If you want a club to be on campus that doesn't already exist, we can make it happen if you can find one other person who's interested in doing it with you.
Mhm.
Um, School becomes a place where you're allowed to be yourself. We embrace who you are, we lift you up. from the colors on the wall to the way the carpets are selected, to the way people speak to you, to the way that we listen to you, to the way that we tell you, hey, this is the way that we do it. But we hear you when you say, well, I learned this way. Like,
Mm.
okay, so let's work with you. And that's what I love about being a part of this community, because I have a 9-year-old myself who I absolutely love. I parent a little bit differently than how I was raised. It was do as I say, do as I tell you. I
Mm.
had a wonderful school experience. I thought I was so blessed to have 88 girls in my graduating high school class. It was small, but
Oh,
here it's even
yeah.
smaller. It's 1-to-1
Yeah.
Mm.
or 6 kids. But you can still have prom. You can still, tonight we're having on our campus a big night in. The kids are getting to come to campus and hang out at
Awesome.
school, and they want to. So it says a
Wow.
lot. Mhm.
Now, do your virtual students, do they also have the ability to participate in events like this with the brick and mortar students?
Yep. So pretty much with the online students, we do everything virtually. So
Mm.
some of the events that Safi is mentioning, we do as well, but we do it on online. I will
Oh,
say that there are a few meetups that we do that are in person. So we have something called Fusion Nation. That's
mhm.
literally where they pick a destination. I believe this year, is it in Denver? I can't even remember,
Hmm.
but they pick a destination and they're there for a few days. So they're doing
Oh,
cultural things, they're visiting colleges, whatever is a part of that culture. Like I know they've done New York before where they've gone on Broadway and,
mhm.
gone to visit NYU and things of that nature. So we do have those things. We also have an in-person graduation where it's customary for the students to go surfing in their cap and gown. So we always get a nice picture of them every year. And we are definitely incorporating more in person, but we do quite a bit online, which creates its own communities. So it's still very active online. And again, all the events that Safi's talking about, we do the same things online as well. And it's a very robust
So one
And then for
last
those
thing
students
before
who,
community.
oh, I'm so
you
sorry.
were saying,
I just
Safi?
want to
Go, go.
say, for the students who want to do hybrid, you kind of
Yeah.
get the
Mhm.
best of both worlds. You know,
Yeah,
those
that's
students,
true.
they're able to be here on campus and
Yeah.
do all the things, but they can also take classes at home, or if
Mhm.
they're hospitalized or have something else going, or they're traveling, or they're working, they're filming, or they have a meet,
Mhm.
they can still come to a big night in if they're in town. So.
Awesome. So one other thing before we wrap up, I was curious if you could tell us a little bit more in terms of how are your staff selected and how is your curriculum chosen?
Well, in terms of the staff selection, I think we do our very best to find people who are passionate about what they do. Many of the educators that we get are coming to us after experiencing burnout. They no longer get to do what they got into the
Actually
business of
teach.
education for. I That's what led me out of the classroom. I was in the classroom initially when I started. I'm dating myself in the late 90s. And then I went into the administrative side because it's like I have got this master's degree. I want to make a difference in the lives of kids, but I don't necessarily want to be in the classroom. How do I make this work?
Yeah.
These people that we select are very, very skilled at what they do. They may have a background in education. They may have, we have a teacher here who has an engineering background, but really
Mm.
wanted to work with students.
Mhm.
So it varies, the backgrounds, but
Mhm.
the passion is what really, really leads us. And I feel like it comes across when they're educating the students. The kids
Exactly.
feel it, they see it, and they're well versed. And when we think about best practices, we try to take in all the best practices in education and kind of mold them together to make the program that we have. Our lesson plans are created. That comes from our corporate office.
Mhm.
And then the teachers get it, and they have someone who works with them that helps them structure what the lessons are going to look like for each individual student. It's very individualized. That's the thing that makes us very different as well. It's not done in
So,
cubicles. If you're on campus, it's in a warm environment. There are glass windows where you can see in and out. The kids who were in the classroom, the teachers, you can see what's happening inside and outside. Some people wonder, what does that look like when you say 1-to-1? We make it very warm, inviting. Imagine a nice size walk-in closet.
Mhm.
But there's a door, and then on the opposite side, probably about the same size as the door, is a window, and you can see in and you can see out. We make sure that the lines never get blurred because it is a very comfortable environment, and sometimes that's a
Yeah.
fear for families. No, everything is watched, it's regulated. We have
Mm.
certain rules in place to make sure that those lines never get blurred. If you're on campus and you forget your lunch money, your teacher's not going to be able to give you $5 or $10. You might
Mhm.
feel that warmth and that comfort, like that cool aunt, uncle, mentor, but we can't do that. You're not going to see the teachers outside having lunch with the students outside of hours because we don't want that to happen. But we want to make the kids feel seen and heard.
Now, in terms of the content that is used in the classes, is that something that the parents have the ability to say, ah, you know what, I don't want that book to be shared with my child or anything, something of that nature?
Well, we're
If
asking
it's
that
one
you
to one.
trust. Yeah, it's one to one. So we do have some selections that we can cover, but the parents don't necessarily get much say in terms of that. I mean, we always hear the parents. So if there's something that is troubling that you feel you're not comfortable with it, that's a discussion. We're always open to having a discussion about things like that. So you can speak to the head of school, you can speak to the teacher, and we can see, hey, maybe you're not reading this book. Maybe we can find an alternative to that. So if that is something that does arise, that's how we
Mhm.
would handle it. It's case by case.
Okay. So now, if you can both tell us, how would someone pursue learning more about fusion and also exploring whether or not it's a good fit for his or her child?
Tip, I'll let you go ahead and answer that one.
Yes, absolutely. So the best thing to do would definitely be to go to our website, which is fusionacademy.com. We have all the information there, whether you're looking for an actual brick and mortar campus or online. So I would say go there. When you on the campuses, each of campuses has what is called a director of admissions. So you can
Mhm.
easily reach out to a director of admissions, which is Safi or myself. And then there's also a button where you're able to, if you want to book a tour, you're able to do that. So I would definitely go that route. Oh, sorry, don't want to take over. Go ahead, Safi.
No, go ahead. It is totally fine.
Okay.
Tip is my buddy. So it's so funny. We work in two different areas. We do this great event called Epic. We have meetings together and we click. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And the
you work
cool part
well
is so many
together.
people. Yeah,
Yeah.
so many
So,
people in the company click. They do a great job of selecting folks. So even when the teachers are pairing students, the person who does that for us, they take into account personalities and things like that
mhm.
to make sure that it is that it works. Most of the time we get it right. I can't say every single time because that's just not
Like,
realistic, but
yeah.
most of the time we do get it right. But if you are interested, first place, like Tiff said, is the website. You get a contact. If it's coming through you all, we have this lovely
Mhm.
connection with you now. You can let us know and we will take them through the process, holding
Yeah.
their hand, going through the inquiry with them over the phone,
Mhm.
virtually, whatever works. Because we want to make this a smooth process for families. By the time many families get to us, they have been through the ringer. So we just want to make it as smooth and easy as possible. Sometimes we do events here and we're like, we really want the parents to come, but they're like, finally, I can breathe. It's been X amount of years. My kid has been going through it from the very start. They're safe with you. We're good. Let us
Yeah.
know how it goes because they trust us. And they trust us because their kids are coming home happy. Their kids are learning. They are doing big things. At the end of the day, college isn't for everyone, but we prepare
Mhm.
kids for
Mhm.
college. If you choose not
Mhm.
to go there, we prepare you for life. We even have
Mhm.
classes built in to give you life skills. How do you have difficult conversations? Do you know how to budget? Do you know what a credit score is? A lot of
Mm.
schools, you're not leaving with that.
Exactly.
But if you are interested in fusion, start at the website, make a contact. If it's coming from Mommy Heal Thyself, give me a call. Let me know this person is coming our way. If they're comfortable with me reaching out or with Tiffany
Mhm.
reaching out,
Mhm.
we are happy to do so. But we don't cold call. We don't just randomly call people. We don't get
Exactly.
their numbers and call them a
Yeah.
million times. We only follow up on valid inquiries. So if
Yeah.
we're reaching out to you, it's because you asked for it. And then we
Exactly.
share information with you. You can also drop in for events. We have virtual tours, we have in-person tours, we
Hmm.
have coffee chats, we have cappuccinos and connections. We have lots of
Wow.
different ways for people to learn more about us and to get involved. If you're
Yeah.
interested, start with the website, start with the conversation, and we'll take it from there.
And ladies, the link to the website is going to be in the show notes, in addition to a free resource guide that tells you about different options, because that's a key theme that I want you to be aware of. We are always here to make you aware of other options. I will never tell you what to do, but I will do my very best to provide you with a variety of options. So in closing, ladies, can you tell us what is the one thing that you want each person to remember about fusion? I know it's a tough one.
We can change everything in a positive way for you and your child.
Awesome. Tiffany?
For me, I would say it's all about putting the students first here. Just plain and
And
simple. We put the students first.
fantastic. Well, ladies, thank you so very much for joining us today. And everyone else, until next time, peace and blessings.
Thank you for tuning in for this episode of Mommy Heal Thyself. If you like what we're doing here, please share, subscribe, like us, and leave a comment. Your feedback is very much appreciated.